Welcome back to the third and final installment of the Introduction to CS111 screencast. In CS111, we're going to be solving lots of problems, and we need domains to solve the problems in. And at the beginning of the course, one of the domains that we're going to use a lot is this fanciful graphical microworld called BuggleWorld. BuggleWorld is a grid world. Here we have a green grid, and it's populated by these triangular creatures called buggles. So this particular grid has one buggle, call her Becky the Buggle, and she lives in BuggleWorld. And now I'm going to show you some things that can, what kinds of things buggles can do in BuggleWorld. And to do this, we're going to go and run something that you can run on your own. If you go to the CS111 course schedule, and you go to Tuesday, January 24th, and click on BuggleWorld, it launches something called an applet. So an applet is a Java program that can run within a web browser. And so here we have a BuggleWorld that's inside the web browser. And on the left-hand side of this BuggleWorld, we have a bunch of buttons that can do things. So if we press New Buggle, it creates a new buggle down here in the lower left-hand corner of the grid. And this is at location 1, 1. So the x-coordinate grows to the right here. So this is the cell that the buggle is in has x-coordinate 1. The cell in front of it is x-coordinate 2, and so on. And there are y-coordinates that go up. So the y-coordinate of this buggle is also y-coordinate 1. We go up to y-coordinate 2, y-coordinate 3, and so on. And a buggle, in addition to having a color, which is red in this case, and a position, which is location 1, 1, has a pen in its belly, and or brush rather. And as we move it forward, which is one of the operations we can perform on a buggle, it leaves behind a trail if that brush in its belly is down. If we turn the buggle left and go forward 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, it leaves a trail behind it. We can then go to the right. And at this point, say we put its brush up. If the brush is up and we move backward, say 2 steps, notice that it doesn't leave a trail anymore because the pen in its belly is no longer drawing. So at this point, the buggle is at x position 1 and y position 4. And we can do other things. For instance, we can drop a bagel. And if we go forward at this point, we'll notice that there's a bagel left over. We can drop another bagel. And of course, buggles love to eat bagels. And the way they eat bagels is they can pick them up. So if we move the buggle backward and say pick up bagel, it will actually pick up a bagel. Now, in addition to these operations of going forward, backward, left and right, dropping and picking up bagels, putting the brush up and down, we can test things about the buggle. So for instance, the buggle is currently in x position 3 and y position 4, and we can find that out by finding out its current position. And we can do that by pressing the get position button. And over here is a Java console window, and it tells us that when we did that, the location return has x position 3 and y position 4. We can also find out other things about the buggle. For instance, we can find out, is it facing a wall? And the answer to that question is false. We can find out, is it over a bagel? The answer is false. But if we go backward 2 positions and we ask, is it over a bagel? The answer is true. We can do other things. For instance, we could set the heading of a buggle. So when the buggle is pointing rightward here, that's east. We could say that we want to set the heading to be north, and that's equivalent to turning it by 90 degrees. Or we can set its color to be blue. And if we set its color to be blue and say we have its brush go down and have it go forward a few steps, why then we now have a blue trail. We can create more buggles. So if we create a buggle, it turns out it's always created at position 1, 1, but we can change its color, say to be green, and have it go forward a few steps. And we notice, whoops, we never set the color to be green. Have it go forward to a few steps, and now we have a second buggle that's green. So those are all the things that we can do with a buggle. Now, what's an example of a problem that we might want to solve with this buggle? Well, let's go back to our Buggle world here. Suppose that we have Becky the Buggle, and Becky the Buggle is born at position 1-1, and every morning a bagel is delivered outside her house to the same position, and we want her to go be able to eat her bagel. Well, how would we instruct Becky the Buggle to go eat her bagel? So again, let's go back to the course schedule page. And if we open up something called breakfastworld.html, it turns out that it has this particular problem in it, where the bagel is placed at a position in front of Becky's house. And what would we do if we wanted Becky to eat this bagel? Well, first of all, we would create a new buggle, Becky, and then we'd make her, say, go forward 2 positions, two steps, have her turn to the left, go forward, turn to the right, go forward, turn to the right again, go forward, turn to the left, go forward 2 steps, and now she's in a position where she can pick up the bagel. So if we said pick up bagel, there we did, and now